Today, I'm going to be showing you guys the top 5 upcoming open world survival games for both iOS and Android devices. These 5 games aren't out yet, but already show huge promise with awesome graphics, amazing storylines, and already very successful beta tests. Some of them look so impressive, they look even better than Call of Duty Mobile, and considering how good COD Mobile looks, that's saying a lot. Most of these games will likely come out sometime later next year in 2022, and I am so excited to play them. I hope after you watch this video, you are as well. You can pre-register for most of these games on TapTap's website, which I will provide a link to down below in the description. But before you do that, watch the video and see which games you actually would like to pre-register for. If you do enjoy this video, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to my channel. It takes just a second and you can always unsubscribe later. Thanks so much for your support, guys. And with that being said, let's get into game number 1. So my friends, the first game we're going to take a look at is Project Arrival. As their page on TapTap's website says, the all-new AAA rating post-apocalyptic survival game Project Arrival has arrived. Back to the year of 2102, the REFA, a revolutionary energy source, has been created on Earth, which led to a new dawn of energy and a technology revolution era on Earth. However, prosperity only lasted for a few years as our highly advanced human civilization caught the attention of a bloodthirsty alien race, which promptly came to Earth and fought the long interstellar war known as the War of Freedom. The humans won, but at such great cost, as the damage to Earth now is irreversible. Cities are destroyed, mutant creatures are running rampant, and civilization has entirely collapsed. It is your mission in this game to enter this godforsaken world and try to survive. You will sneak into alien spacecraft wreckage to gather top secrets, race tanks under glistening neon lights in cyberpunk towns, and encounter mutant behemoths that surpass anything in your wildest nightmares. There are over 10 varied environments in this game, such as valleys, forests, deserts, and more, with dynamic weather during the day and night cycle. You have to watch your body indicators, so keep an eye on your hunger, health condition, and other common survival gauges. There are hundreds of futuristic high-tech weapons and unique abilities, which you can use to defeat the mutated creatures on the map and earn massive rewards. You can collect and customize this equipment to make it even more powerful, and you can even build your ideal home from scratch. There's an entire construction system in the game, so you can build walls, windows, furniture, and so much more. There looks like there's so much to explore in this game. It's honestly so exciting. It's looking like the ultimate open world futuristic post-apocalyptic survival game, and I hope it turns out as good as they say it is. It won't be long now until we find out for ourselves. The second game on this list is called Undone. There will actually be 2 versions of this game, the global version and the Garena version, just like for COD Mobile. This game is an immersive, free, open-world survival game being developed by Tencent Games. A massive company, so it's pretty promising, I think. You can team up with your friends, craft weapons, construct your shelter, and embark on incredible adventures in this brand new world. It's set in a world that has become overrun by zombies, leaving players to cautiously travel around the map, trying their very best to survive. Alongside the hordes of zombies, players will be able to fight against themselves for loot and better gear. Players scavenge the world for resources so they can craft supplies and weapons for battling against players and zombies. You also will need to work together with other players to create shelters and trade resources with one another. It honestly looks pretty similar to the Left 4 Dead franchise if you've ever seen that before, or Life After if you're more into mobile games. It looks like a more updated version of Life After. There will of course be a story mode as well where you can complete chapter quests, a camp/guild function where you can join a camp and team up with other players, basically like clans, and a whole lot more. Undone hopes to combine open world freedom with RPG elements that would completely redefine the genre regardless of the platform, which are the exact words used by the executive producer at Lightspeed and Quantum Studios at Tencent. Oh yeah, speaking of platforms, Did I mention it will be for mobile and PC? I can only assume that means this game will be cross-platform, which will make it all the more massive. Considering it'll be cross-platform as well as having some of the best graphics out of any of these games, and it being developed by a massive game company, this might just be one of the biggest games of 2022. I don't want to be overly optimistic, and I don't want you guys to be as well, but I guess we'll have to see when it finally releases. Alright, and to continue right along here, the third game on this list is none other than City. Yes, City. That's what it's called. You may have never heard of it before, but it's being developed by NetEase, who have already made other extremely popular mobile games such as Life After, Lost Lights, Badlanders, Cyber Hunter, Rules of Survival, and so much more. There isn't too much of a description for this game yet, but it looks to be an open-world multiplayer survival game, potentially even the successor to Life After. With that being said, I think the graphics are going to be incredible, as it looks like they're going to try and compete head-to-head with Undone, which we just mentioned earlier. City will tell a story that takes place in a city immersed in an endless fog. Humanity seems to be at peril, and only a few survivors are left, who then band together to travel to a mysterious tower overlooking the city. This tower is the only glimmer of hope left to the last people in this apocalyptic city, and they don't want it to fall down. The video you're seeing in the background is from an alpha stage, so obviously things will be improved in due time, and I think this game is probably the farthest from release right now on this list. It's got a ways to go. However, from the leaked footage we have here, we can see it already looks very impressive and puts itself right in line with several other big-name mobile shooters in terms of graphics. It's got looting, it's got zombies, it's got a large map, immersive health indicators, tons of weapons, and a lot more. I would imagine the storyline is pretty good as well, as NetEase does create some decent storylines. I really like how this is a co-op survival game, as that is pretty much essential to any game's success in 2021, and I really look forward to future updates for the game. It really does remind you a lot of The Last of Us, in case you're familiar with that series, and I don't know, man, there still isn't too much info about this game yet, but make sure to subscribe so you stay up to date with all the latest info about City. Don't click away just yet, though. We have two more awesome games on this list. One of them is the one that you're seeing right here. Project EOE. It's a weird name, but it's another game created by NetEase Games. I honestly don't know why NetEase is creating so many of these games. It's like they were bored of Life After not getting any real competition, so they just created the competition themselves. But anyways, here's the description for the game. A mysterious silver door opened, bringing a catastrophe into this world, and all of human civilization has fallen due to the invasion of stardust pollution and abnormal forms. Humans have been struggling to survive for 40 years, and you are one of the survivors in the wilderness. Players have to fight against the teratogens, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, and dangerous creatures to survive and establish a new civilized city of mankind. They also will need to explore the mysteries of destruction and evolution. So yeah, with that description, it might remind you of the first game we talked about. There's some type of freaky, mutated creatures that humans have constantly been battling with to regain control of society. And this game has got all the stuff you expect for an open world survival game. Huge enemies, awesome graphics, dynamic weather, PvP, looting, house and base building, and so much more. The only slight issue is the beta that came out a couple months ago was a ridiculous 8 gigabytes in size. That means this is a huge game. So what the heck else is in store for us in this game? I guess time will tell. I can only imagine this is yet again another potential successor to Life After, and it might even be twice as big, as Life After is only around 4 gigabytes in size. There are a few videos of this game on YouTube already back when they had a technical test in October, and we're now pretty much waiting for the next beta of the game. I know one thing's for sure, I'm going to be playing the next beta whenever it comes out. I'm guessing it'll come out globally sometime in 2022, and I have high hopes for it. Do you? And finally, the fifth and last game we will be talking about today is a game called Project Atlas. We got a lot of games with the name Project on this list. I guess it's a massive endeavor to create any of these open world games. Project Atlas has a lot of hype around it at the moment. Here's the description. In 220 AH, I guess that's a year, the Eye of the Sea catastrophe swept the world, and people could never forget the moment when a bottomless hole appeared in the sea. After the catastrophe, nearly 90% of the surface was covered by seawater, and the test for mankind had just begun with the loss of land and the lack of fresh water. What was once an offshore drilling platform had become a maritime sanctuary for humans, and the ships have become the main form of transportation for them. Mutants are running rampant. Various forces are taking advantage of the chaos to rise, and there is a mysterious unknown sea waiting for the people to explore. So hearing that, I think this game may be the most unique one on this list. It's an open world ocean survival game, which we really don't have a good one yet for mobile devices. I bet there'll be a really good storyline, especially engaging since it's a lot different than the standard zombies taking over the world storyline, but there are also mutants like we saw, so there's still some familiarity, as well as looting, exploring, multiplayer, probably some type of base building, and a lot more. I would imagine this survival game might be a bit more challenging than your typical open world game, as a lot more is covered by water. And I'm really curious how this game's movement mechanics and physics will be, considering you'll be swimming a lot of the time. You can see footage of the beta tests on YouTube already, but the final version is yet to be seen, and a whole lot can change between now and then. This game could turn out really, really good, or really, really bad. It might be the next big mobile game, even bigger than Life After or Undone, but it also might be a complete flop. Regardless, I'll definitely be checking this game out when it becomes available, and I hope you guys come along with me. And with that being said, that wraps up today's video. That was the top 5 upcoming open world survival games for both iOS and Android devices. I'm super excited. I don't know which one I'm most excited for. Maybe the ocean one? Project Atlas, because that's the most unique out of all the ones that we talked about, or potentially the very first one, because that actually has a full-on description, so we know what to expect, unlike the other games, which are promising a lot, but we don't really know what to expect yet. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Which game are you most excited for? And yeah, is there anything that I missed? Let me know down below in the comments. Thanks so much, guys. Leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you all in the next episode.